Week 7 in MML Season 5, and we are looking at a very, very important game here in the Dungeon West and Iron League play pool. If you're watching this screen right now, you will see that in second place is Dignity, and they are our home team today, coached by Coach Sestonn. They're right behind the Wrecking Crew. And if they win today, they're in the playoffs. Their opponent, trying to take a crap in their cornflakes, is good old Mummy Factory, coached by ReznorRulesYou, who's currently sitting at 2 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses, pretty much out of playoff contention, but can still secure a bowl game in their first game in the league. And my name is Serious Jest. My co-host is More Shots. What's up, More Shots? Are you excited?
No, not really. It's been a long season. I've kind of burnt out all my excitement. I'm half KO'd and punch drunk like a lot of the players. The war of attrition hasn't been easy on either of these teams. They've both taken quite a few beatings throughout the year, and this is one of those where that little brass ring at the end of the year, maybe a bowl game for the undead, or maybe a playoff berth for the second year for Dignity. So the worst thing that could happen right now is it end up being a tie.
Oh yeah, that would kind of screw everything up. Well, for Dignity.
Yeah, let's not tie, Rez.
That would screw up for both, actually. Yeah, you're right. One team wouldn't make the bowl.
Yeah, a tie is completely useless. I mean, I'd like for one of us to walk away with a win and something positive to look forward to next week.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pull out of the party. I'll come back later.
I'll be here listening, probably, maybe. Good luck, Seth.
Yeah, Rez doesn't like to pull out. So, get into Dignity. If you take a look over here at Dignity, they are rolling in with 11 people. See them on my screen here. Their offensive star is Royalty. And you can take a look at him, man. The guy is accurate as hell. He is only second in the MML in throwing yards because the, what's his name, Magic? Or the Best. Yeah, the Best has surpassed him from Knuckles Holy Rollers. And, of course, we've got...
Are you talking about the Magician?
The Magician, that's who it is. Sorry. I had to use one of those kind of adjectives. Then you take a look at Simonian Physique, who is supposed to be the enforcer of this team, although really Tenacity has stepped up and been the backbone more. Physique looking to try to reach that coveted level 7 and become the first level 7 player in the Pro MML. Of course, you've got the other 2 guys filling this out of the star catchers, Eccentric and Funny. A lot of good skills for them as well. Shots, what do you think is the key for Dignity today if they're going to take home a victory?
Well, it's going to be one of those. They're going to want to get their scoring in early, and then keep pressure on the undead. The other thing they're going to have to try and do is actually protect their players, because the undead, the Mummy Factory, has been known to kill opponents and then turn them upon their opponents. So I mean, I believe they've made 2 mummies or 2 zombies, I should say. I always get that mixed up.
Yeah, we always screwing that up. You got me doing it too.
But it's a plague upon the world. But yeah, they've been known to do that in 2 games already. They've been successful at that. So I mean, you could be seeing a Physique zombie wandering around after that pylon if a skeleton or a zombie gets a good solid foul on him. So it may be about protecting players as much as it is getting that win.
And they've got 2, the other side right here, the Mummy Factory you're seeing on the screen, has 2 block mummies, 2 block and guard mummies, and one of them's a blodger and breaks tackles. That's not Eddie. It's Eddie and not Eddie, and those 2 are the biggest threat. Of course, you got the Foreman, who's a passing threat. He's right up there in the MML. More on that a little later about what his stats are exactly like. And Slippy 2, the super strong ghoul with Frenzy and Wrestle. He's a Roger. So this should be an interesting match. You ready to go to the field and see what's cracking?
Yeah, it's ready to load up. I'm trying to get it started right now. I have to imagine the teams are getting their introductions right now and setting up offense and defense.
Now, we had the coaches report back during the inducements phase. They said they talked about what inducements were made. Because they're playing at the Grandiose Majesty, which is Dignity's home, Dignity supplies 2 wizards So one for each side. So they're both going to come in with a wizard without even worrying about inducements. And aside from that, I think Dignity is giving up 280k to the Mummy Factory, if I remember correctly. Do you remember what inducements he took with that?
I am not certain. I'll give it a look.
I got a bribe, a babe, and a Igor.
Nice.
Okay, so
Sounds like
and
a
it
line
looks
from
like
I got a bribe, a babe, and a Igor. No?
and he's also got a blitz. The opening kick from the undead is coming with a blitz also.
Uh-oh.
So the high elves were loaded up. It's a solid kick into the deep corner.
When you say who received the ball? Because I'm still getting in there.
High elves are receiving, so Dignity is receiving, but the Mummy Factory ended up getting a blitz on the opening kickoff and looked to be trying to even out some of these odds.
So the crystal ball for me has just tuned in, and it's tuned in back in time. So I'm seeing the blitz happen, and everything's happening very fast with no delay. Seeing the white move into place here. Which white is that? That's Dickinson. And there's not Eddie moving. And I think we're caught up.
Yeah, it looks to be fairly close, I have to imagine. We've got Skeleton moving up the sideline now, marking eccentric. And it looks like we're going to get a Mummy blitz coming in here now. Coming in on Physique. And Physique does not have dodge, and this will be a successful attack.
Just caught a face full of fist right there.
That will be the blitz. See if the two ghouls that are currently on the field are going to make some adjustments. Looks like the ghouls are going to be marking up players now. So Slippy 2 still playing a bit of safety. And the foreman coming up and marking another player. So this will take a little bit of the mobility of the high elves away. They'll have to take some dodges to free up players. But this isn't going to leave them much room to get the catchers upfield and into scoring range. So this may hamper the offensive ability here.
Don Eagle and I recently talked about this on the MML podcast, which you can, by the way, download and stream on MMLpro.com. Little plug there. But this is the blitz is one of the worst. It's probably the worst thing that can happen to you. Well, except for maybe getting a rock thrown at your star player. But
yeah, blitz, it's got a real combined action. It's almost like getting perfect defense and the rock. Because your opponent basically gets to reset all of his defense except for guys that are already in contact, and then he also he gets that attack. So when you're looking at guys like Physique and that, we have a downed zombie here,
and that's just he's gonna shake that off and get back up. That's what zombies do. He must have not got caught in the brain.
Yeah, his head's still intact and not damaged too badly, so it looks like he'll be back after it next kickoff.
The dreaded double skulls rear their ugly head. So you're supposed to
that's Scrotal Blade. That's their other free zombie that they got. I believe Scrotal Blade came against Skaven team, I believe it was, that he signed on to be a line rat and ended up becoming a zombie.
It was a merc, right? Journeyman?
Yeah, that was a merc player. I believe he was playing fill-in for the Snitchburg Pirates.
So the Scrotal Blade was actually a computer-generated name. That's awesome.
Yes, I've seen other blades and other Scrotals, but I have not seen another Scrotal Blade.
A Scrotal Blade, if packed right, can be mean.
Oh, it can be devastating for the long-term survival of a player. Well, I gotta imagine if they're gonna take an attack like that, it'll be a jump-up attack from Physique. That jump-up seems to be one of those abilities that people fail to see sometimes. Oh no, and it's gonna be they're going for the foreman, a one-die block.
So
Well, I think being a high elf team, what they're really doing is they know how important a thrower can be.
No, the other thing is that, remember, this team loves their stats, and Royalty has, really been struggling just to keep up with the Magician and the throwing stats, and the Foreman has vowed that he wants to come up and elf better than the Elves, and Dignity's not having that. They don't like that. They want him off the pitch real quick, silence him, and keep him from even having a chance of racking up scoring yards, throwing yards, especially because we know Dignity doesn't like to play defense, frankly. So they're like, you know what, if we can take him out during our offense, then we don't have to worry about playing defense on him.
Well, they leave themselves in a good situation, but a bad situation. I'm not sure if they kept track of the fact that there is a frenzy ghoul in the area. So it's mighty dangerous to get high-value players that close to the sidelines, because they could get frenzied clean off the field if things break just right. So it's one of those where positioning needs to be a priority if you're playing against these frenzy players.
And I think the problem, Shots, is that I think Sestonn's running out of time. Actually, I think this is a very important match. And you notice he really let that timer tick down until that frankly terrifying little bell started going off. And I think he would have adjusted for that had he had time, but I think he just ran out.
Yeah, that's one of those where we've seen a few different coaches in the league that they can sometimes have issues, especially early in the games when you have a full roster of players to move and you got to come up with a strategy and all that stuff. So they got the important stuff taken care of. They got and it looks like we're getting our second injury. And that one will not be coming back. Does not appear to be an Apothecary Whip player. And that's going to even this field back out to 10 versus 10.
Jester already had a niggling injury, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. He may have actually had a double niggle.
Oh, wow.
So we'll see. Did not see them use a blitz yet.
I think they're trying to figure out a way that ghoul can come over. And there is, obviously.
I don't know. They're moving some pieces around. It looks like they're trying to keep the players pinned in a bit, but
I wouldn't have been able to resist that, sir.
Well, they still. And they're going to go foul first. They're going to get the hit in on Physique. Physique stun. Looks like the skeleton might be getting sent off. No, bribe accepted. So bribe in hand does save the player. I think they were trying to get Physique out of the way so that there wouldn't be a chance for an attack afterwards. And here comes the possible serve. No, they're going for tenacity. That's going to push him into a one-die situation.
There have been a lot of one-die blocks thrown in this match so far, period.
Well, both coaches are trying to make what they can control happen as quickly as possible. So it's one of those where, one-die blocks or something's needed when they're trying to go for the win instead of a tie. And another KO. So that's gonna, with one injury and one KO, that is gonna take a catcher off the field. That was Swift. So that'll give the numbers advantage to the undead.
That was Swift. Who was the catcher that got run off the field, though?
That was Swift was the one that got KO'd, and then Jester was the lineman that got taken off. And Physique being stunned is also going to limit these things. And Royalty with the throw.
Let's get the party started.
Well, and this is the mobility coming into play. With 8 movement, Eccentric can dodge out and make quite a lot of distance up. I'm looking around for the ghouls. Where are the ghouls placed right now? Frenzy one's in target.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're about to see a nice little wall spread across behind Eccentric. You can see some dodges, and there's going to be elves over there forming. No, maybe not.
That's gonna wrestle one down, but that will free up Tenacity to probably make a blitz. I did not see them use a blitz yet, so Tenacity should be free to possibly maybe even attack a Mummy if they can get the numbers advantage someplace. And here comes no, that's not the numbers advantage.
I thought they were going to wall him off. And, like, you know,
yeah, it's a one die. Oh, and an injury. Let's see if the regen does pass, and the Mummy will return. So that's two successful regens by my count.
And now he's just good and angry.
Yeah, the last thing you want is a pissed off Mummy. So Tenacity might want to stay clear of Eddie and Not Eddie, because I know that Not Eddie seems to be the more durable one of the two, but Eddie can be just as violent when he finds a good target on the field.
So the only person that can reach the ball carrier right now seems to be Trundling, and that would be just the market.
Yeah, but it's going to be difficult for them to keep him in. They can mark up quite a few players and then make a dodge out of that area too. It looks like, so they can make it a little bit more difficult with the one Mummy out there still free to roam around. They can use him to really pinch some players off.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Sestonn accounted for the
Lightning Bolt.
And there goes
Eccentric is KO'd.
A lightning bolt on an armor 7 player can be especially devastating. But now the problem.
Oh, it definitely can. And with the ball scatter, Trundling can actually get there now. So if he can break loose with a dodge, he with two go for it can get it within range to pick that ball up.
This would be interesting. The only problem is that the elves seem to be closer to that ball.
Well, they definitely are, but the undead are kind of developing a bit of a screen to not make it very easy on them. I have to imagine that Tenacity could blitz his way closer to the ball and then dodge out and get in there, but it's going to be one of those where with the numbers disadvantage now being at -2 for dignity. Well, no, minus only 1 because they got the Mummy off. Are they back to even? No, they I get hit in the head a lot. They may be back at even now.
There's 9 undead, and then there's royalties at the bottom. Don't forget about royalty all the way to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 9 to 8, I think.
Okay, then. Yeah, they're a little bit safer, but with
job of screening that ball off, and still it's not a sure thing.
And here comes the frenzy. And this is going to put him back into a one-die block situation. Oh, no, it doesn't. But that will put tackle zones in the way. So that may shorten the distance that he can travel. Has to use a dodge on the first one, so I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a long way around now. Nope, he cuts clean through.
Advantage.
And the pickup.
You see that little slide he used? He slid into the ball, wrapping all 4 of his ugly limbs across that ball, and then he assumes his little weird golem-like posture.
That's a textbook maneuver. A lot of times in the National Football League, the bigger guys won't try and pick the ball up with their hands so much. They'll kind of just try and curl their body around it. Looked a bit similar to that, where he just kind of tried to scoop the ball right into his body cavity and just held on with all appendages.
Learning to use all of your limbs when executing this kind of move is something that improves your agility, and this particular ghoul, Trundling, is said to be very agile, having trained lengthy sessions with iPet and iPet-like creatures.
Yeah, it's you see the Undead doing is it's both unnatural and very effective. So now the question is, we've seen the wizard from the Undead side. Will we see Dignity use their wizard in a similar manner?
I think doing it at the end of... wow, that's how they're going to end the turn? Oh wait, or they just started?
That will end the turn. That will cut their turn short, but depending on how... Oh, and only one damage inflicted, so that's going to be a very poor wizard for them. They had it lined up to possibly hit 4 players.
I think
and high-value players at that.
I think these Undead players got, came out so elfy that they actually confused the wizards, who from afar weren't able to tell who was who.
So both wizards off the table within the first 3 turns. So neither coach was really looking to sit on the wizard for any length of time, and this is gonna make the rest of this game a little bit more of just a regular street fight, not having to worry about the impact of a wizard late in the game. Lydia going for Fortress. Fortress still not able to get any real successful hits in.
Hey guys.
What's up, Seth?
Since when does using a fireball end your turn?
Always.
It always does. If you use it, if you use
People
it before,
people use it at the beginning.
Yes.
yes, but you stood up players first.
Okay, so you can either use it at the beginning or the end.
Correct. If you use it at any point in the middle, it will end the turn.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, looks like
I'm going away again.
blitz now. Okay. Good luck.
Thanks.
And not Eddie going back to work. Injures funny.
Not Eddie's pissed off that his brother Eddie is over on the sidelines and that they tried to hurt him.
Not Eddie's been doing a lot of the heavy lifting around this team for the first few weeks, and I think it's finally to the point where he's getting a little bit more of the credit for the work that he's been doing. Eddie seems to have a bit of a bullseye on him most games, and this is one of those where Eddie doesn't finish a lot of games. Not Eddie tends to finish every game, and just hasn't gotten the recognition that he would expect.
Well, this is kind of a common shot. So you got one brother that he's got his stuff together. He produces, he does what he's supposed to do. He does good for the family name. And then you got the screw up, who's always messing up, always coming home busted from drugs or out late drinking and getting into trouble. He probably knocked up some girl and took her down to Tijuana and had to get her taken care of, and the family, they feel bad about it, and he's like their project, and they feel like they're responsible, and it's almost like the parents love the brother more, and then the other brother, who all he wants to do is get it right and do the right thing, he just gets ignored because the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Shots. The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Well, this is one of those where the Elves might need a little grease to get this ball back. They were counting on the Wizard to do a little bit better work, and now they've got to come up with a new game plan, down a few players.
I think Coach Sestonn should have read his Wizard contract a little more in depth before the game.
Well, you're not going to get a whole lot of sympathy, I think. I mean, those Wizards probably should have let him know ahead of time that that's how it worked. I mean, they've been with the team this entire season and the last season also, and it's one of those where you would expect them to at least show a little bit of favors, or give the coach a heads up if they were going to, interrupt the entire turn before throwing them.
No shots. Those contracts are signed in blood. And before you cut your hand and swear to nothing, you should probably know what you're signing.
And an uncharacteristic non-pylon by physique. They want to keep that tackle zone on the ball, but this is something you don't often see, is physique holding back. We've seen him early in his pro career piling on against the coach's orders, and it seems like with the playoff chance online that he's being a little bit more well behaved.
He looked like a a guy who really had to pee, and it's been like 2 hours. But, you know, the game is in the fourth quarter, and then people keep calling timeouts, and the whole time he's thinking, if I could just hold out a few more minutes, I can make it to the bathroom without going down my leg. You know, and he's looking back, and he's trying to show that restraint. And Coach Sestonn saying, "Don't you pee on my field! Don't you pee on my field!" And he luckily holds it back.
This is not a great situation for him. You can just tell that he's fighting every instinct that he has in his body.
And look at Royalty. Royalty thought, I threw my one pass. How it normally works is I throw a pass and we score. What's the holdup? And then he finally figures out, wait a second, why is there a weird gremlin-looking creature carrying that ball around? Is that an iPad? No, it's an ugly iPad.
I think what we're seeing is Royalty is bait right now. Royalty was put out there as bait, knowing that a frenzy could pin him on the sideline. They're hoping to bait the ghoul into frenzying him into the sideline to make it more difficult.
That might end up just making it more difficult for Dignity at this point. The manpower numbers are in. Am I wrong, or does it look like the manpower is in favor of the undead?
The undead do have the manpower advantage with the injury, and now physique again. This lack of dodge ability is coming back to haunt him again. Another successful attack on him.
And Slippy tries to give him the old Slippy finger, and he succeeds in getting him to the ground, but doesn't succeed in penetrating him the way he wants to.
Yeah, this is starting to look bad for the elves. The undead have created a bit of a screen and now have the ghoul off and running.
Hey, Shots.
And
you know what that is over there? You know what that is over there in that white zone?
I got a feeling I might have a clue on what it might be. I don't know. Is he broken out? Is he broken out far enough, or are we gonna put some sour cream on top of him?
That's a potato. He is
You
flanked
just can't help yourself.
He is flanked by one lone piece of sour cream right there, and other than that, that's a potato.
We got a both down situation. Looks like Gustav is KO'd and Dauntless is stunned.
But that means that the ghoul is looking kind of naked. It's a Trundling.
It's a bit. He's a bit covered.
But you know
they could probably get a blitz on him, but I think they have bigger fish to fry at this point. They gotta hunt their ball back down after the defunct wizard left them with their pants down.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think the potato Trundling that is over there within reach of physique, and yes, this guy.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing it now. Physique, he would have to do a little bit of dodging to get out there, but it's definitely an open opportunity.
And there's Tenacity, who's tapping on the White's back, right on his right shoulder. He's whispering something into Dickinson's ear. I can't quite hear where it is. I'm sure we'll probably hear about it later. But the next guy that makes a statement better be with his fists, and I bet you that's Physique. No, first it's going to be Royalty running over there.
Yeah, they're going to try and mark up some players.
Smart.
And that will free up the tackle zone there to get him out with less dodging. He's up, he's blitzing. He's coming around. Players mark 2 dice, going to be successful. And I got to imagine this time you're not going to be able to keep him from piling on. Here it is.
Booyakasha!
And just a KO on Trundling, but damage done. Ball's going to squirt loose. And halfway through this first half, both teams have seen the ball, and both teams have lost the ball, still 0-0.
And the elves are basically trying to show the undead here, you can't out-elf an elf. You can out-elf some humans, you can out-elf some orcs, you can out-elf all the other races that don't really know what a real elf is, but a real elf cannot be out-elf by some fake-ass undead. That is the statement.
Well, and it looks like it's going to be even odds now. I mean, both teams are down to 7 players maybe it is now?
This is where it gets
I
exciting.
don't math good, but
7 on 7.
I think it's 7 or 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3.
Could be 7. But it looks like the undead might actually be down a player now.
Yeah. So I think I just got. I thought I only saw 6 undead. Yep. And not Eddie. He's gonna get over there enough to push Tenacity right by the ball, which is not very good. But I mean, of course, Dickinson's probably gonna follow up with a hit of his own. Just in case things get out of hand. And this Tenacity, this
Looks like a 1-die block on Tenacity. Tenacity does have the dodge skill, but Dickinson's following up, trying to push his you know, his tackle zones into a little bit better position. And we're going to see a ball scatter here.
No follow-up.
And it goes to the sideline.
Oh, now you know what's about to happen. Tenacity with the blitz to clear the ball.
Yeah, but this is a dangerous approach. This is going to put, if he doesn't get himself out of there, if Tenacity does not evacuate, he is in surfing range of the ghoul.
He was pretty aware of that, did what he needed to do.
Yeah, but they're still just kind of leaving that ball sit there. I gotta imagine they're gonna bring in a catcher or somebody soon,
Well, they got,
or possibly royalty.
That's a new catcher, right? He must be new for this game. Arcane is
Same.
there. He hasn't moved yet, so I imagine he'll be the one picking that up.
Yeah, I'm not recognizing him. He may be new. He would, I would have to imagine he would be the Lythe replacement. Lythe taking injury, and then that may be the new player for their 4th catcher now. I don't know if I'd really trust. I don't think I would trust him having the ball. He lacks dodge. He lacks, block. I gotta imagine that this ball will be going to Tenacity's hands, if anything.
That's what I was thinking too. Just because of the extra strength he's got over there.
And there comes a pass. But they carefully baited it though. They're putting the new catcher within surfing distance, setting up a bit of a trap here.
This is interesting as hell, man. It never takes Dignity this long to score. I don't think they've been used to people playing real defense on them.
And we're gonna get the Mummy moving over. Mummy's gonna mark the catcher. Gotta imagine that'll lead Dickinson open to mark Tenacity, and
is physique too far away?
Does.
No, he's not. One go for it, and he can put his tackle skill on that ball carrier.
Oh, now we're gonna get the frenzy blitz coming from behind. It's gonna be successful. Flippy 2 popping the ball loose, Elf down.
But he pops it loose within the tackle zone of Arcane. Now, do you want to go for the 50% pickup? Just surround the ball.
No, it looks like they're just gonna put the tackle zone in, and this will threaten the catcher for a surf next turn without even a blitz action. If Arcane can't get in there and get himself free, he is definitely at risk.
balls and move the guard piece away and leave Fortress just sitting there unattended to come in and aid.
Well, it looks like they're keeping a scoring opportunity out there, though. They may be hoping to pull some of the elves away from that area to guard the scoring option.
Right now, it just looks like Dignity said, screw it. You can run out there all you want. That ball's not going over there. We're going all in.
And they're throwing backwards. And that player does not have the distance to actually score.
Nope. But he does have the distance to go across the field. Which isn't going to be enough. Because he can get to the other side of the field. No, his movement is really key. So he can get caught, depending which way he runs.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough situation for him. This is more work than Dignity's been used to having to put into to get their touchdown.
Now he is unblitzable, at least by the white, by either of the whites. Even Dickinson, but he can get marked up.
Trundle's going to come up short too, but yeah, this is one of those where.
So this is what I was talking about, Shots. Had he not ran the foreman over to midfield away from the battle, he'd have somebody there that could prevent that little wide zone scamper from happening.
Pretty interesting readjustment there. Oh, the block mummy is standing firm. Takes the one-die block from Physique, and Physique finds himself in the unenviable position of taking a possible hit from a mummy. I know there were whispers from undead fans about what would it be like having a physique zombie. Would it come with pylon and some of these other really sexy skills, or would it just be a regular zombie?
I think the problem is that when they die and become zombified, the brain is still kind of like in motor mode. So I don't think that it retains those highly specialized skills. He would just want to bite things, walk stiff.
Well, a man can hope.
It would be pretty cool, though.
See the royalty taking a hit, and that can't be that can't sit well for the high elves. That's their key piece.
Patty cake action. Oh no!
And a reroll.
Eddie wants some. Not Eddie wants some physique blood.
Oh, and he's gonna get it.
And the question is Dickinson gonna run to the ball, or is he gonna take advantage of this opportunity for a serve?
Whoop. A little slip here with the reroll spent. That's gonna stick. High elves are in a situation where they're going to get their touchdown, but at what cost? Oh, 5 high elves currently on the sideline. Dignity players looking around the field, looking for a free block, can't find any. And they walk in the touchdown.
That's the thing about this team. When somebody else goes down, there's always somebody ready to step up.
Well, but that's going to be one of those where stepping up is going to be the big thing. Looks like they got 2 of their KOs back. Looks like 2 KOs also for the Mummy Factory. So Mummy Factory will be back to 11 strong. No, currently Dignity has catchers on the front line. That will give, looks like Fortress has a level.
I don't think Fortress is playing beyond this season, though. So.
No, that's probably wasted SPP.
He's got a couple more games left in him. At least
Yeah,
one.
at least one with full game locked up at this point. Dignity's going to evacuate any high-skilled players, which this is the point when you find out how much a coach likes you. So, right now, the coach is only concerned about 2 players, physique and royalty.
I don't know if Dignity realizes this, they set themselves up very amenably to a one-turn. Or for a one-turn position. Yeah. That is, I mean, you just gave him the first chain push.
Well, it's not automatic at this point. They've got a few blocks they can throw. There's definite easy first push.
And so those
This is
8 movement, so that means
what?
3?
3 bumps forward. It's not an easy distance, but looking at the setup, they may be able to pull it off.
Oh, 0 rerolls, as Caven pointed out. So that doesn't sit well. So I don't know, if you're the Mummy Factory right now, do you try for the one turn, or you just say screw it, let's bash elves?
I think I make my first blitz trying for the one turn, but I also keep everybody set up to just pound if it doesn't go well. The other thing is with the Frenzy player, Frenzy can come in mighty handy on a one turn also, because you can use that 2 push ability on that blitz to really define whether or not you're going to get the if you're going to get the push the way you want.
True. That's not true. It's a good point. There's a lot of tools for the undead right now.
Yeah, Frenzy can be your best friend or your worst enemy on a one turn.
True. I will say
I can't imagine that they're going to be. I can't imagine they're going to be trying to push tenacity around much, though. They're going to pick on the linemen on the outside. And looks to be a short kick with eccentric on the sideline and a blitz.
Okay. Well, that just.
Well, it may be detrimental, but at the same point, this may also free up more possibilities, depending on what direction they go with this blitz or who they target. Looks like they're going to mark the skeleton. Seems to be a low value target, and they're going to blitz, and that's going to be one guy, maybe. Oh, they're going for the mummy. Unsuccessful, and it backfires. And that may well keep the one turn hope alive. Does remove one player from the field. And with that, the one turn is dead. But speaking of dead, we do have a lineman in the middle of looks to be about five angry undead players. So.
I mean, do you risk that for a lineman though? Do you risk the turn 8 foul for?
Well, I think at this point they still have to throw a few blocks. I think at this point, anything's possible. Yeah, the block's not falling for the undead on this one-turn chance. They get all the blocks that aren't going to put people down early, and then the one time when they when they wanted just to push people, it ended up being a situation where they had to put the player down.
SPP pass from the foreman. I wonder if he backs him up to get those thrown. Yup, that's what he's doing.
Oh yeah. They're going to get as much range as they can on this one. This is one of those where they want to try and push this passing game as best they can because they're playing against royalty. They're playing against the high elves that have been known for milking passing yards and throws to pad their stats. So they're not gonna hold off on padding their own stats.
Did you see that throw though, Shots? That was ugly. That was quack, 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 quack. What a duck. I'd be surprised if the foreman doesn't get a sarcastic letter from royalty with some sour fruits. Or maybe he'll send him some sweet fruits.
The real question is, did it go forward?
I don't think that counts for your stats. I think it has to be a completed pass, but handoffs are worth 2 yards.
Well, there's different stats. There's stats for passing completion and then passing yards.
Yeah, I mean for the passing yards, I think it has to be a completed pass. We don't know
not so
if
sure it
Cyanide
does.
never published that, but remember we were trying to do that. We were trying to war game it, and from the stuff I've heard from other people, it's just that handoffs count for your. This was in the official forum. Some people that seem to know said that handoffs count for 2 yards, so that's why we had that situation before where there was, I think it was somebody on Harry's team who had like no completions and 12 throwing yards. It's like what? I think it all came from a handoff. It's worth 2 yards.
Forward handoffs, that could be.
I'm not even sure if they have to be forward handoffs, honestly. I don't even know if for Blood Bowl purposes your pass has to be forward to count for your throwing yard. I mean, it's theoretical that you could pass backwards and still score 2 yards.
Well, what's not theoretical is right now the high elves are actually in a real bad situation. None of their KOs woke up. The Mummy Factory is back at full strength. That all the injuries have been cleared, all the KOs woken up. Regen has been an absolute a nightmare for the high elves so far. And yeah, it's a situation where we're going to see how far the high elves are going to go to protect their players from additional damage, because they're going to be greatly outnumbered for the rest of this game.
Is this another case of Nuffle giveth, Nuffle taketh away? I mean, this is what we saw after after various people had these amazing games against one squad. They would come back and the next just completely turn with the armor or something like that against the next team they face.
Well, I think this is one of those examples of where the strength of the undead teams come from. This is to the point where this game, if regen wasn't involved, we'd be looking at a very different lineup for both teams. Physique would have been able to keep all of his pile-ons and those injuries, and it wouldn't be that he's looking across the field like, didn't I take you out already? How many times do I got to kill you before you stay dead?
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating. You take all the trouble to put an opposing player into the dirt, to snap a limb, to send him home to his mommy crying, and what kind of thanks do you get? The guy comes right back on the field the next play, and it's like it never happened. Zombies can be infuriating. The undead can be infuriating.
Well, and the bigger nightmare that I think they're going to have long term here is that Dignity, they don't even have any guard players left on their team. All their guard players that they did have been injured or killed. So this puts them at the disadvantage of not only are they playing players down, but they can't even rely on guard pieces to help get the strategic advantage at particular spots. So I think you're going to see the Mummy Factory try and get 2 touchdowns and get a win to keep their bowl hopes alive.
There ain't gonna be no stalling here. And we heard a little bit of the banter back and forth between the coaches. These guys respect each other. They also know that a win can do something for either side, but a draw will screw both of them up. A draw will keep the Mummy Factory from the bowl game, and simultaneously
Oh!
And that's a guy that's not going to regen. Oh,
yeah, and this is one of those where it's going to be difficult.
I didn't want it to be.
We got a zombie!
Assistant coach.
Zombie alert!
They're just here to make a zombie, and they do.
I'll take it.
Oh, so that's a lineman. That's a block lineman, but it's still just a lineman. And Sestonn knows that you can't use the Apo on that lineman, but the Lion was an assistant coach, like Rez just said. We know that the Lion was very dear to Alan, the archivist, and Coach Sestonn holds him in high regard. And you see, he didn't hold up that apothecary right away. He let the apothecary get right up to the edge of the sideline and then called him back. And that's just tough. I think that hurt everybody's heart. But the good news for us fans, though, is that we're not done seeing the Lion. We're just going to see him in a different uniform.
Yeah, he's already getting adjusted to his new body, you know, trying out the appendages. He's finding them a little bit more constraining, but it's one of those where I think over time he's gonna really come into his own here on this new team. And this is the third zombie that we've seen them make this season. So I know that you've been keeping track of many stats. I think a new stat we may need to track is zombies made in a season.
Yeah, and you know that's easily trackable. We just go to the kills, and I can go through actually right now and figure out how many kills have been inflicted by undead teams, and then we'll know how many zombies.
Yeah, and it looks like it's you know, one zombie shows up, another one leaves. No, they're having a little bit of a zombie party over there. My Scrammy Flammy Mammy. He saw the new zombie, wanted to say welcome to the team, so he took an injury then a regen just to go over there and shake his hand before it fell off or anything. They seem to be pretty happy with their new teammate.
And somebody just handed even just handed the Lion a drink over there. He's having a good time partying with his zombie buddies.
I don't care what any of these other coaches tell you. I treat these zombies very well. We're a family.
I saw Rez hand him the drink, actually. That was the person who handed it to him. He said, welcome to the team. And guess what kind of drink it was, Shots?
What kind of drink was it?
A Bloody Mary. They don't have to be good, but there's plenty of jokes here today.
So looks like Dignity is piled 4 of their players over by the Ghouls, most likely in an attempt to stop any more scoring on that side.
Yeah, this is.
I don't know. It may have been a bit of an overcommittal, ignoring half the field on the far right. I know that these zombies and skeletons aren't known for their agility, but there is one more ghoul in the back there that could, with an effective screen, be off to the races.
I think Dignity just kind of lost their composure when they saw their friend and teammate get killed and then become a zombie. And remember, we've talked about this before, Shots. Sometimes when you're playing against an undead team, if they kill your player, even if it's a low-level player, it might be worth using the Apo to keep them from getting that extra player over there on their sideline. I mean, the numbers are already skewed badly.
It's an effective 2-player swing. You know, it's one of those where, you know, it does take something out of a team, and it's you know, it's a feather in the cap of the undead, knowing that, yeah, you know, we took out.
Oh, Eddie wants to play. I think he heard people talking
no
about
long-term injuries.
No,
so this is going to leave only one more player on the field of high value that the apothecary would be used for. So this may we're going to see frenzy in effect. And Russell down, so trying to take some of that mobility away from Tenacity. Tenacity also has jump up, so not a skill you see him use quite as much, because most of the time he's already up and mobile. Don't see him getting attacked and taken down quite as much as some of the other players.
Right, so it makes me wonder why. Oh, okay, that's why. I was going to say, why would you, to somebody who has the jump up ability, why wrestle him down? Because you're just going to be laying there, he's going to get right back up like it never happened. But
yeah, it looks like they're setting up a bit of a screen.
So they can potato, because that's a potato, Shots. Very much a potato. Oh no, he doesn't have the ball. I just realized that. Sorry.
Not yet. They're sizing up the throw. They're counting the yards out. They really want to get the maximum amount of bang for their buck on these throws. You know. A few more adjustments. So they're not going to expose the ball until the last possible second, it looks like.
No, that guy's done. The foreman has already moved. He's not throwing.
Yeah, they're gonna hold off. They're setting up a skeleton zombie screen with a ghoul in the front of it.
I like it.
So it's making it almost impossible for them to cover all the options now. I want Elf-2 just outside of scoring range. Trundle's easily within scoring range, and then Dickinson is in a sneaky position. He's within scoring range with one go for it, and does not appear to be even that big of a threat. Looks almost like he's just marking a player instead of actually looking to be in in a situation where he's looking to score. So that could actually be a sneaky target if the other options get covered up.
Yep.
But what they're actually doing at this point is they're forcing the elves to separate out somewhere they can get individual attacks.
Tenacity is a good blocker. He can definitely swing his fists with skill, but nobody hits as hard as Physique. So that's gonna hurt that they're missing him.
Yeah, Physique has the toolbox to get him that extra attack with the pylon. And that's as far as hitmen of the field, that really makes a huge difference being able to get that second swing at the armor break. But the ill effect of thinning out the high elves is that they cover up the entire field at this point now. I gotta imagine that Royalty's gonna want to get out of where he's at pretty quickly here, because if he gets attacked, it's gonna, he's, I would say, probably the highest level player out there that they're not gonna want to, subject him to anything that they don't have to.
Right. So looking back, because hindsight's 20/20, do you think maybe that he should have considered using Apothecary on Physique when he was badly hurt?
No, at this point, they've got the one touchdown in. They've got to be counting on Eccentric and waking up in the next one. It's one of those where they've got enough players. They've got the lead right now. If they can play, tough defense and try and keep the ghouls under control for another turn or two, maybe get an injury with tenacity. And get that numbers advantage back to their side a little bit. I mean, it's not without any kind of a reason that you couldn't imagine them still pulling this out.
I'm wondering if we're going to see a touchdown throw now. That's what it looks like it's lining up for.
Yeah, it looks like they're clearing out. They're going to try and clear out some of this middle area, so they can get a little bit safer throw through there.
No Eccentric on the field definitely helps out a lot.
Yeah, having Eccentric around trying to pass is an absolute nightmare. That may have been one of the reasons why we saw him get removed from the field fairly quickly. So this does create a bit of an alley where the foreman's coming up. This will be they will get an attempt on the interception. Fortress is in the area. He's got the arm on it. That's it, and this is going to be a walk-in touchdown for Trundle. So we will see a little bit of showboating, I have to imagine. Rarely do we see the ghouls not have a little celebration before, and then I didn't see him break the plane, but they're calling it.
And shots for Mr. Cameraman. Oh God, that's that is brutal.
Yeah, no, it gets more horrific because I don't know why the cameramen don't catch on to this, but they just they keep lining up week after week and just slowly getting devoured.
I think they keep getting told that it's not going to happen this time.
Yeah, no, we fed the ghouls beforehand. They're fine. I mean, you know, no, don't worry about those.
Yeah, those last cameramen, they weren't really professional. We told him not to wear that specific cologne that he wore, and that's what set the poor...
That's not cologne, that was barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Must have
that was Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. They keep smothering up the gobbles before they put them out there. I don't know what they thought was going to happen.
Why is that not an MML Pro name? Sweet Baby Ray.
Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce?
No, it should just be Sweet Baby Ray. Should be a pro player. I would totally cheer for that.
That sounds like a great naming convention. Different barbecue sauces.
Oh yeah, damn, that's good. But unfortunately, we just said it on a Twitch channel, live Twitch, and the MML is full of nice, you know, thieving league mates who will gladly take your team name and claim it as their own.
Oh, don't get bitter. Don't get jealous. It's not a good look on you.
Several people. I'm just a little salty.
That's not what you want on your barbecue sauce. You don't want salty barbecue sauce.
Yeah, you want it sweet, I know.
And
hey,
here
Sean,
comes the
no
bliss.
one's more sweet than me, though. Oh, wait.
Couldn't even finish the sentence, could you?
Sextus
and yeah, that's one of the sex dyes. You always got to keep an eye on the sex dyes. Yeah, the Sextus the Duster is up there playing nose tackle right now, so they separated the sex dye, and this is the result when you don't keep them close working in tandem. They're less effective. Well, the big problem is no matter how many people you put on eccentric, he's still a scoring threat. You know, with Nerves of Steel, AG5, and Dodge, you know, you can put 3-4 guys on him, and chances are he's gonna still be there. You know, waiting for that ball. I got a pretty effective elf screen going there. Slippy 2 is in the area, should be able to get a hit on him, but gotta imagine the Scrotal Blade's gonna be coming for royalty.
What a match this has been. This has definitely lived up to the hype. Had a bunch of
oh yeah, and both. Oh no, Scrotal Blade isn't going for royalty. They're gonna send Trundle in. Trundle got his level. He's gonna be a level 5 after he goes level up. But it looks like they're gonna try and put out a little bit of a screen to stop this pass from going on.
Caden said the cameramen are gobos, so more death to them. I'm sorry, Caden, we don't speak out against goblins on this program. Yeah, just enough said on that.
So this is one of those situations where, you know, experienced elf coach Sestonn has put all 3 of his catchers within scoring range, so they don't necessarily have to go to eccentric for this one. They can go to any of these particular you know, catchers can score from where they're at with a simple dodge out of the tackle zone after a successful catch. Looks like they've marked up 3 of the players. They're going to bring Dickinson back. Probably just do some moral support, maybe protect the logo there. And Trundlin coming around the backside. First attack is not successful. Going to push him forward. Going to push him back in a little bit more. Wow, but this really starts to muddy the situation. And he's just going to pin him back in, but that will make it a little bit more difficult for him to slip out of there. We have seen the high elf's ability to score at will, so I have to imagine this is going to be another one of those situations where they're going to go to eccentric with that Nerves of Steel and agility, and then ask him to make a couple of quick dodges.
Are they going right for? Okay, no. So he's not passing it right away. I thought they were gonna.
No, looks like they're trying to get the numbers advantage on Slippy. Oh no, yeah, Slippy 2. Trying to come up with a way that they can get rid of that tackle zone and avoid additional dodges. But every dodge that they make, it comes at a price. And it looks like they weren't finding any good locations to go from. So here comes the pass attempt. And Eddie is within striking range for the interception attempt. Unable to perform again. Eddie's been a little bit of a disappointment, I'd say. Hasn't been the same player since Implaw gave him a nickel. And Centric dodges out, and we have a 2-1 lead for Dignity now.
Exciting. And now we see, can the Undead continue to elf real hard?
Well, that's what they came here to do. They this is their first season out here, and they showed up as a taking over for a Wood Elf team that didn't have a whole lot of victories but stayed amazingly healthy. The Undead, not worried about health at all with the regen ability, have came up with a few extra wins, but really just at that teeter-totter point to break into a bowl game. I know that they would like to get that kind of success on their inaugural season, and getting a win here would put them into that rare air.
Well, it looks like the Undead are charged up. They got the numbers advantage. I just saw Trundlin yell across the line of scrimmage over at that catcher Arcane. Say, hey, young blood, I'm gonna elf you up. Arcane looks a little bit scared.
Well, the real question is are they going to implement the psychological advantage of the lion? Bringing out the zombie from the player that they killed and putting him face to face with some of his previous his previous line mates.
He is right now standing next to Sexus the Duster, and you got some other zombies on the pitch, or skeletons rather.
I can't imagine the Duster's going to be on the sideline much longer either. The Duster's, he's an offensive threat too with that little bit extra mobility.
Yeah, they put the Duster on there.
And they bench my Scrammy Flammy Mammy in the process.
Makes sense. So the zombies are looking to be left off the pitch because of their lower mobility than the skeletons. So now they're not.
Yeah, the only zombie that they're fielding is the old Scrotal Blade.
I'm wondering why. I'm with you though. I would have definitely put the lion on the line of scrimmage and see how his teammates
Well, he didn't have a week of practice with the team, so they may be holding him off until future use because of that. But and the Duster, Sestonn the Duster with the ball. This is a rare occasion. We don't normally see skeletons and zombies with the ball. Landed right in his hand. Dang near took it off.
Everybody on this team could be an elf shots.
Well, yeah, actually, most of them probably were previous elves. I mean, a lot of these guys are undead. But this is going to make for some interesting occasions here. The punishment keeps getting dealt out. It's going to be a stun. Dignity, I believe, is still sitting on their apothecary at this point, so with 4 turns left. Each injury is going to slowly start adding up. If they want to get that win, they may have to look at possibly taking a KO'd player and turning him into stun. And it looks like they're trying to build a bit of a cage. They may be trying to get the Duster the touchdown here. You don't see a lot of SPP for skeletons, but this could be a 3-turn touchdown that he does have the distance with that 5 movement.
It would be interesting shots, but at this point in the game, if you're, both, again, this team needs a win to get their bowl game. So I don't think you can afford to wait for that zombie, for that skeleton to get down.
Oh, he's going back for the handoff.
Oh, that's ballsy. He's gonna give more throwing yards to the foreman. I think I think this team would probably consider it a win if the foreman outpassed Royalty. And if anything, the foreman has to shake off the embarrassment of that pass that he threw. I mean, did he throw it with the wrong arm? Was that it? Because that was a nasty, ugly duck of a pass.
Well, it looks like they're trying to build a little bit of a screen that I don't think they're able to, I don't think they're going to be, a double skull.
Yeah, it's one of the few times that the undead are really unhappy to see skulls.
Yeah, they're big skull fans, but
in that case.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult. They do have 3 ghouls up the field, so it's going to be difficult for them to cover all the ghouls upfield. But you know, I don't think this turn really went how they anticipated it. Oh, they're definitely padding stats now. Foreman taking a 9-step drop on this one.
I think part of it is they realize that screen they got set up toward the back between Sextus Bone Collector and Gustav the Anatomist is kind of weak. You could, because it's not built on a corner, it's like that diagonal screen, you can...
I mean, it's one of those situations where the Sexti aren't known for being good right tackle, left tackle, but, you know, with Gustav in the middle, you know, really, you know, putting a little bit more of a backbone to it. I think it's an all-right proposition.
Well, they take Eddie down. You know, again, Eddie hasn't been having the best game. It hasn't been a terrible game. He's had his moments, but they're just sick and tired of him. They think he's soft, so they're going to pick on him first. If they can bring down one of these mummies, it'll definitely, you know, kind of change the makeup of this game and the teams on the field, I think.
And it looks like they're going to move up the field and force the pass. But they've effectively left 2 ghouls upfield right now. Looks like they're going to dodge out. They're going to cover one of them. Slippy 2 still wide open.
Yeah, this is about to be a pass by the foreman. It's going to be a touchdown. We're going to see 2-2.
Well, if you can get the pass off, it looks good, but it's one of those where, you know, one of the first notes that I believe Cyanide made about the undead is no pass game to be found here.
Well, they've got an Agi 4 thrower with strong arm in the backfield right now, so normally not. I mean, definitely with skinks or with goblins, you know, because of their stunty ability, it's gonna take you a lot of bloat to get them to the point where they can throw. I got Spermidactyl there in the past, obviously, and even in his case, I mean, it really made the TV on my team skyrocket up. In this case, though, I think the foreman can compete. We've seen that. He's number 3 in the MML.
Oh yeah, he's got the arm for it and that, but this is one of those where, you know, the receiver isn't what you would really traditionally see in a receiver. You know, you have AG3 receivers, and no, it looks like they're going for an attack. Oh! And the new catcher gets the welcome to the MML. Gets his bell rung, he's KO'd. And Slippy's just, you know, taking that toothy grin and smiling all over the place, going, who's next? So that does, that leaves Trundlin open, but it won't be as easy of a pass that the AG5 thrower is in that area. So I'm not sure if they're looking to throw to the end zone or they got some.
If you can get that, if you can get the foreman like right up on the sideline to make that throw, if you're willing to risk, him getting surfed if he misses it, you might be able to avoid the possibility of the interception by Royalty.
Well, it's almost looking like they're resetting up. I don't know if they're going to go for it this turn. And the foreman's coming forward. He's coming straight forward. He's risking the interception.
I don't really like that.
waving the passes back and forth a bit. And Eccentric's coming over.
He is. Oh, Eccentric's back on the field. I forgot about that.
And looked like the first attempt was inaccurate. Second throw is good. Catch looks to be good. Nope, catch is a bit of a failure there. That's going to leave the ball in enemy territory. You know, we do have a thrower in range. We do have Eccentric. We've seen him do some throwing before. We have an uncovered catcher upfield in Swift. And Swift is within scoring range. So this could be a turning point. The nice thing is that there are plenty of undead in the area of that ball. So the Coach Rez did reposition players before making that throw to make it rather difficult for the ball recovery for the Elves.
Right now you see Coach Sestonn drawing up a play on the clipboard on the side. And he is reading it off to one of his assistant coaches. They are talking it into the field. The Elves holding back on their next play.
It also looks like the Lion. The zombie, the Lion, was drawing up a similar play and pointing out to the undead that he may have known the play that was coming.
Makes total sense. And motor memory is still left in those seniors.
And we've got a successful throw and catch. Looks like Gustav made an attempt at getting the ball. Could not get his skeleton legs to respond enough to get him up and get a touch or get an interception. So.
As soon as the completion happened, you had Cave in 08, the leader of UCLA, who already has secured his playoff spot by the end of week 6, type into the chat, welcome to the playoffs, Dignity.
Well, that may be a bit of a grudge match. I believe those teams met last season, and it led to some pretty high tension and mixed results with the overtime, being a bit suspect.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it was suspect shots. I think the way I remember it, basically something was wrong with, Caven misclicked on his controller in the playoffs, and then at first he misremembered and thought that it was a game glitch or something, but then in the end he applauded the board's insight and understanding and compassion and wisdom in deciding that pretty much it was tough titties and that Dignity should go on to the next round of the finals.
Yeah, I don't remember it being quite that way. You might get hit in the head a lot too.
I do get hit in the head a lot sometimes. I like to mix it up with my own players out on the field. And Sandra Bland hits kind of hard. But, I just remembered it that way. I thought that, Caven went and he wrote an open letter to the board praising our deep insight and knowledge of Blood Bowl and fairness. Yeah, I remember that. I think he even wrote me a thank you letter. It had somebody with their throat slit. I think he was saying it was an offering of blood meant to inspire happiness. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. You're definitely misremembering different than I misremember.
Oh, I don't know. Could be.
But no, I know that these two teams met earlier this year, and the results were quite deadly, I'd say.
Always a good game. This has been a great match so far. It's been really fun.
Yeah, Dignity has the skilled players that they definitely put on a show. These high elves, they can run it around, throw it around, and when they want, they can even play a little bit of defense.
And the Blood Bowl gods have favored the Dignity toward the end. I'm not saying it's all the Blood Bowl gods. They have favored Dignity in the end. But what I'm hoping is that if the Blood Bowl gods have favored Dignity in the end, maybe the Dungeons and Dragons gods are good to another set of travelers in some other universe where their dungeon master has had really good luck the rest of the week. Somebody would be taking someone's team here.
Yeah, I don't think the Knuckles praises go quite that far.
I'm not saying we're nerds or anything, but
But you're not saying we're not.
Yeah. I mean, some dice were rolled, some things happened that I'm not proud of.
Oh, and the new catcher Swift with his. Oh, I know Swift is new this season, but I don't believe he was the brand new one. No, that would be Arcane. And everything going wrong for the Undead now.
It rains and pours.
The foreman now turns all thumbs and can't seem to control the ball.
Yeah. And Nuffle is pissing on the Mummy Factory's back and telling them it's raining.
Oh, look, it is raining. Wait a minute. Oh, put that thing. Oh, God.
Who was it?
The crowd here isn't all uppity high elves. There's a couple of Neanderthals out there, and they are doing horrible things.
Sometimes some of those wood elves like to sneak in here because they like the undead style, this undead team style. So it might have been some of those dirty wood elves. So,
it has been known to happen sometimes.
man,
Looking like we've got two scoring threats up the field at this point. And the High Elves are just getting out of range if they think they have the playoffs locked up and don't want to risk any additional injuries.
Yeah, they clearly have a lot more to lose at this point.
Well, yeah, definitely at this point, they just want the undead to go away and leave them alone because, you know, there's still a lot of dangerous players out there on the field, and the last thing they need is, you know, coming into the playoffs 1 or 2 players down, you know, more so than they already are.
But yet, Eccentric runs out there just alone and unafraid. That's dangerous.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily alone and unafraid, but, you know, this is going to want to be one of those situations where I have to imagine that him being the lone player there puts a bit of a bullseye on him. That before any throwing is going to happen, I have to imagine he's going to get blitzed into next week. And he's wrestled down, so that takes care of that. So we'll see if the foreman can handle this ball and maybe get one more touchdown for the season for these undead. Maybe get one less cameraman this season for the playoffs. And he's in position. He is throwing over the High Elf. High Elf not able to get up there and get the catch. But we are going to get one more undead touchdown this season.
Damn, that was pretty impressive.
Trundling getting his second of the game. A little zigzag around, and then he goes.
Look at that. You see that little forward flip he did at the end, too? He's just showing off now. They can celebrate shots.
Not a... Oh, jeez. No. He had a family. That's unfortunate.
How did his nose...
I hope he signed the life insurance before the game.
Oh, I hope the unit took care of that.
They really got to start looking out for that. Like maybe like build a cage around the cameraman or something to keep him out. Like,
That would be something, right? Like a shark cage type of deal?
yeah, you know, like it's a dangerous job. I mean, I'm surprised other teams haven't taken advantage of the, of the cameraman or different things on the sidelines. You know, it's just mistakes happen, but this has just been reoccurring enough. You know that steps probably should be taken before next season to help ensure the safety of the cameraman. I haven't seen a lot of action with the necro teams in that. Are their ghouls as poorly behaved as this, or are they a little bit better?
That's a good question. I forget, actually. And I have a necro team on the farm. And even in the COL league, in the casual league, I got a necro team. I don't remember. I've scored with the ghouls. I'm going to assume so, because if they didn't attack a cameraman, I would have noticed.
Alright, so we're seeing the Lion take the field again, but this time for the Mummy Factor. He is he's playing a bit of nose tackle here. Let's see if his teammates show him any mercy, or if this is going to be the standard issue pounding that we would expect.
You never know, man. With there's a blitz. Oh no, he sat everybody back. So no, this game's
Yeah. He even took back even took back the skeletons. The Dignity getting another reroll. Already had two in the bank and getting an extra one. So Knuckle is definitely smiling upon them.
Yeah, I'm wondering how long before he throws things that you know is going to come. He's going to try to pad the stats.
Looks like
I actually
they're.
don't know who has more throwing yards this game. Who would you think? Actually, that'd be a good little exercise right there. Who has more throwing yards, Foreman or Royalty, right now for this game?
I'm going with the Foreman. Foreman's really been airing out quite a bit. I think this last throw, if it's completed, will probably go to put Royalty in the lead. But right now, I think the Foreman's got it.
I agree.
And that's gonna eat up a reroll here. Looks like we may get a blitz from Eccentric. Or depending on how much they want to pad these stats, they could send Eccentric deep. Just to, yeah, it looks like they may have that option now too, is take Eccentric as deep as they can to pad their stats as much as possible. And that's what we're seeing. Eccentric taking place right on the logo. And the pickup. Will he drop back at all, or is he at the distance that he wants? Gotta imagine, yeah, he's gonna drop back. He's gonna go from logo to logo here.
This is, I think this is a long bomb, right?
Yeah, this is a bit of showmanship here. So here's the pass and the catch, and that's logo to logo to finish out this game.
Impressive. I think you're right.
Good game.
Wow. So shoot. All right, where do we start here? Dignity versus the Mummy Factory, 3-2 final score. There were 6 completed passes for the Dignity. That's pretty good especially against a team that was actually playing pretty tenacious defense.
How long do you think that last pass was?
Logo to logo.
Yeah.
28 yards. That's my estimation.
Well, that would have put it pretty close, because Dignity ended with 90 yards. Mummy Factory had 68 passing yards. So.
Yeah, that might have been over the edge.
If Trundlin hadn't blown that catch and given Royalty a free pass to the single game passing title, it was in range.
That was a show you guys put on, though. Yeah, that was a pleasure to watch.
That was a fun game.
What do you think, Rez?
That was a fun game.
Your players came up short in some ways this match. They came up big in other ways. What were you happy with, and what were you disappointed by from your players?
Me? I mean, that I didn't win. I really didn't want to kill the Lion, first off. That's the assistant coach. That's not who I was gunning for. It just kind of got caught in the crossfire there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the inaccurate passes at the end of the first half, that was embarrassing.
Yeah. But then he made up for it. It's like he had something to prove in the second half.
I think he was just warming his arm up, really. You know, he'd been sitting for a whole half. We really didn't expect to hold Dignity until turn 7. Yeah, by that point I was just
that blitz,
really. Yeah.
It was that blitz, and you set up everything perfect. I couldn't do anything.
Beautiful there when you finally got the touchdown. When I moved the Foreman up, but I was basically like, you know what? At this point, I just need to kind of count on you to roll some ones. Like, I was just kind of holding that hook for the touchdown. Not much you can do about Royalty and doing his thing.
Yeah.
I tried to wall eccentric off completely on that pass where Trundle missed the catch. I managed to screen him off from...
Did you see he missed it by 1 point? He missed it by my tackle zone. That was beautiful.
I was so pissed. That was really well played there, because I mean, I went out of my way and did the extra dodge to make sure he couldn't get in front for the pick.
Yeah.
I've seen eccentric burn so many people because they forget about him, and I wasn't going to let it happen, and then the tackle.
I was hoping you would forget about him. I made sure to put him as far away as possible.
I have called way too many dignity games to let eccentric burn me like that.
Yeah.
Him being out for like half the game really helped.
Thank you for not letting me intercept you, Rez. And yet another interception.
Right.
In the game. No thanks. What do you think, Shots? What do you see from your end?
It was a solid game by both coaches. I wish it could have been a little bit closer at the end there, but I mean, you know, with high elves in the area and that, when that ball hit the ground, it was pretty much a surefire touchdown. You know, eccentric can be an issue, but I think the Mummy Factory will be happy. They got, I know at least one player at that level. They've got some pretty good SPP. So it's one of those where
it was a building year. You know?
You guys got a new assistant coach.
Right. You know what? I'm gonna hire an assistant coach just because of
do it, and then if he gets killed, fire him like I'm gonna.
I will.
I will. But the interesting thing that I've noticed is that like in this game, it was a lot closer because of the regen ability was firing on
Igor.
It passed every time.
I mean, I was sitting there kind of regretting taking Igor at the end, and then I realized, you know, if it had been 50-50, I would have needed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those where, you know, it's something that people overlook. If you're going into bash, you know, to out bash an undead team, you've got to account for the fact that, you know, half the time your hard work is going to come back to haunt you with, you know, with another player coming back on the field that you thought you were rid of.
Yeah, regen was 100% through what, like 4 rolls?
4 or 5?
Three, I know.
Yeah, 3 or 4. I can't remember if it was 4.
I know 2 of them you rolled a 6. The first one I didn't see what you rolled. The other 2 were 6.
I think he rolled a 5 on that one, but I don't remember. I mean, it was all top half of the dice for regen.
Yeah.
That's where my catching dice went. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy, I guess, with the season. Wish I would have got the bowl game. One thing that struck me while you guys were talking is the team, you can see it, they're lacking the full mobility of having 4 ghouls out there. I've been kind of playing long-term and keeping, I want to Elf 2 on the sideline because he doesn't have block or anything yet. So I've been running 2 ghouls, and you can really see it limits the mobility.
Well, yeah, it was. There were points when a skeleton was coming after the thrower instead of a ghoul. There were points where as soon as, you know, as soon as you saw, you know, a high elf make a break upfield, I mean, the team got outran by a lineman, I believe. So it's one of those where
that lineman has movement down.
Right? Yeah. And that's
by the lineman that has the blazing speed of a chaos warrior. You know.
Yeah, next season I'm hoping, you know, I'll be fielding at least 3 ghouls on defense, you know, if not 4. So that big gap right there that is in the defense hopefully won't be there next time.
Well, the Walking Dead Reanimated's game earlier today, but Fenord's employs 4 ghouls, and it really, like when Sestonn was running the Cold Hard Truth and he'd come in with a 6-pack of skinks, it gives him the freedom to just send his guys in, like, not caring. Like, go ahead, hurt him.
I missed that team.
I had fun against them in AOS. Much more fun than this game.
This game was stressfully fun. I didn't know how I was going to be able to pull it out with. I couldn't smash you. You got guard all over the place.
The foreman picking up guard was huge. Getting the kickoff return and the strong arm set him back in like his traditional role, but finally getting guard was huge. If I can get it on the other white, that'd be great.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sestonn? I was going to ask you this question, Shots, when you started mentioning the lack of guard on Dignity hurting. I mean, are we in agreement that for a high elf team, guard is much more important than mighty below? If you have the chance to take only one of them.
I think having one guy with both mighty blow and tackle is amazing, but you only need one. Anybody else that gets doubles, guard is amazing.
Yeah,
Right, like let's say
I agree 100%.
you're only gonna get one doubles roll, you know it, for your whole team. Do you take a guard piece or you take
Mighty blow and tackle.
Depends on who it is. If it's on the blitzer, definitely mighty blow and
Oh
tackle.
yeah, if it's, I think anybody, even if it's on a catcher.
I mean, that's a
It's
weird
just
situation. I've been very fortunate with my levels, so I don't plan on just one double.
Yeah, the doubles. You should make a team called the Doubles Factory.
Right. Everybody looks at my team and they think I did like some kind of farm combine. No, I mean this is a tamed down version of the team. And we might bring the strength 5 rule back the next season.
You just die.
We might.
Coach Rez, if you don't mind asking, what did you roll for your goal?
Only a 2.
That's what I rolled, and I re-rolled a 1.
Have you guys been noticing your fame scores? Did you see what your fame score was on the earnings?
I think I lost fame.
No, not the
I
fan
really
factor,
don't know
the
how.
fame score.
Yeah, I think I lost fame. How that works.
I don't know what mine was at the end. I didn't see. Does it still say?
That's what Don said. It shows up on that
What
screen.
the hell?
Earlier today told me that he saw it on the
It shows up on the. It shows up on the winnings page.
right. What your fame?
I guess I don't still have access to that.
Like if it's a plus
Okay,
one,
so I had 180 gold before that game. I rolled a 2 for winnings, and now it says I have 160.
Wow, you miscounted.
No, it's definitely 180.
Wait, you had how much? 120?
180 gold in the bank.
You had you did have 180. Okay.
Yeah, and
I remember
now it says
that.
I have 160. I left 30 petty cash on the table.
Well, stay away from my apothecary.
What the fuck?
My apothecary likes things.
Maybe when the game is confirmed, it'll work itself out.
It's already confirmed.
Yeah, it's already confirmed. Well, I didn't take it. Wait, maybe I did. How much money did I have?
Where's life at?
Did-
Is he still around?
Yeah, I think maybe I got your money now.
The question's going to be is did they charge you for the lion?
That's it.
Oh,
It should
maybe
be
they did.
free.
Should have been free, right?
Because I was looking at the team before it leveled, and it said 180, and now it's saying 160.
Yeah, zombie's free.
Yeah, but if you rolled a 2 and you had 180, so you were minus 40, and that's what a zombie costs.
Yep.
It must be bugged. It's supposed to be free, but it looks like it wasn't.
Yeah, it definitely just fucked me out of 40,000 gold.
Well, spend another 10,000 and have an assistant coach.
Huh.
That sucks. Try reporting that to Sinai. You can go in the forums and report it.
Yeah, it should be, well, we won't have anything recorded of it when I have
Caven said
180,
possibly
yeah.
rising costs. Did you take a look at that?
Oh,
I wouldn't think so. I'm only at 1560.
no, I think it starts at 17.
Yeah.
Seriously?
I didn't even think it started that low.
Don't forget,
I don't
Coach.
know, guys.
I think it's like 1700 or 1750.
Oh man, I'm not going to like that. Next year I'm going to have to be dealing with that all the time. How am I supposed to steal money? I mean, make money.
Well, Fortress did not roll doubles. Guard would have been nice.
Alright folks, so this has been another great MML production. Thanks for putting on a show for us, and unless somebody's got any parting words, I'm going to close. Anyone?
God damn it.
Thank you for watching.
Hey, thanks everybody for playing. Thanks for watching. You are watching the MML, MMLpro.com. Check it out. Learn about things that we got on that site. Learn about the league. Learn about the history of the teams. We just put a fresh new podcast up there. It's just a very short 4 hours. It's got many different subjects. It'll teach you how to change the oil on the car by yourself. How to successfully neg a woman, and all kinds of other useful life stories. By the end, you'll be calling me and Don Eagle, who co-hosts with me, your mentors in life and your best friends ever, even though you've never met us. So check it out, mmlpro.com. Thanks for tuning in, and this has been Serious Jest. My co-host, More Shots, our coaches, ReznorRulesYou and Sestonn. See you later, guys.